Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 119 of Trials and Trebuchets. I am your dungeon master, Luke, and joining me are my players, whose names are...
Hi, my name is Ben, and I play the level 60 normal wizard, Winter Wallaby, and along with my
accent is
companion,
this?
Mr. Wiggles.
Vaguely Italian? Is this Italian? I can't tell.
It's not even an accent.
Whoa, mamma mia.
Meatball show.
God damn it.
That's the spicy
Mario,
meatball.
Mario,
Spicy
Mario.
meatball.
Hi everyone, it's me Carla, and I play the level 6 Tiefling Roguelock, Integrity Idleberry.
It's you.
Take me to church, I'll worship like a sea, let the shroud of your light, I'll bathe in your bath so I can see the past. Why are you laughing? You're ruining my career.
I was ready for you to sing Kiss from a Rose, and you disappointed me, Carla.
Why?
Seal.
Oh, that's sweet.
No,
eyes.
Carla.
Good God, please
No,
don't
Carla.
strike me down.
I'm sorry, Carla. I'm sorry, Carla.
And now, after a 15-minute break for Carla to cry, Sarah, who are you?
Yeah, we did have to pause for 15 minutes, but we're back from recording. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I play Mira Marchand, the level 6 half-elf bard. Seeing orb stuff for the first time. Visions of Isithil, where the wand came from, but no knife. Visions of Isithil.
That was really good.
What song is this?
It's Visions of Gideon by Sufjan Stevens.
Ooh.
Oh.
My name is Sam, and I played the level 6 human sorceress Serenep Cinderman. If it wasn't for the no violence clause of our sanctuary, I would fucking dropkick Ferdinand into the water right now.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
And
done with
last
her.
time on Trials and Trebuchets, Integrity and Ferdinand sought out a source of Isithil's divine magic, entering a knee-high pastel sea of divinity where Integrity began to cast her spell of Conjure Memory. During this time, the other students spoke about the danger of Integrity being alone with the witch and set out to find the duo, but not before they were made aware of the ivory-masked woman's presence through a telepathic message to Mira. Scratching the fungus-filled dweller room off of their list, the students quickly entered into the same sea of divinity and saw Ferdinand taking some of it for herself, while Integrity began to conjure the memories of when the Orb of Progress was created, as well as when her recently mended wand from the sunken hatch was broken. You are standing in a knee-high, to your approximation, unending sea of water, or not water, that's the wrong word. It's this magical
Fluid.
this divinity, which exerts this pressure on you, and being here in this place, through this doorway which you have just walked through, surrounded by nothing but the sinking tops of white barked trees with golden leaves. Being here, you feel this pressure just exerting itself on you. Integrity is standing a fair distance in front of you all, casting this spell. In her left hand, a piece of parchment that has the actual instructions for it is slowly burning as this magic consumes the scroll. And in her right hand, raised up in the sky as if it was an offering, the 4-inch diameter blue orb of progress, as well as a rose gold mended wand. Waves of this magical energy crash about, pushing upwards. Crash about is not right. They almost as if this liquid is being pulled up by your words, Integrity, to form apparitions of what you are hoping to see. Which one do we want to start with?
I think that let's start with the wand.
Start with the wand.
Just because I feel like the orb is more, it's like bigger. If that
Okay.
makes any sense.
Integrity, you feel the wand being pulled from your hand. Do you want to let it go, or do you want to keep holding on to it?
Am I able even to control my hand to I don't think if the power is very strong, I won't be able to hold on to it very much.
Okay. The wand is pulled firmly from your grasp. It flies over and is hovering a few feet above the waters or the liquid's surface, this magic made materials surface, and around it begins to form the scene of when it was broken. We all see a young woman crawling out of a small tunnel. It is wider than it is tall, enough that you wouldn't be cramped crawling through, but definitely too small to walk through. She's wearing the blue robes of a student of Wildcliff, though they look much different than yours. What does this girl look like? Tell me. Everyone name one feature of hers.
Sharp nose.
Heterochromatic eyes.
Bro, you can't make everyone heterochromatic.
Bro.
Every single character.
Who else has a heterochromatic eyes?
You made the little thief who stole your orb heterochromatic.
Oh, they have heterochromatic eyes?
Yeah, you're like, they have a blue eye and a green eye.
Sorry.
Just really common, I guess.
In
In
this
people
world.
that integrity
Actually,
deals with.
that thief is a direct descendant.
Large, piercing, brown eyes.
Okay.
Very short blonde hair.
Cool.
Slightly bigger than average hands.
Okay, slightly larger than average hands. You see her crawl out into a chamber which you recognize, which all of you would recognize, which all of us recognize. It was the chamber where you found the wand Integrity at the trial of reverence in the sunken hatch. There's a large skeleton of a serpent here, coiled and fallen down on the ground. No muscle or flesh remains on its form. It has, so many ribs, fully intact. You know that when you saw it, there was 4. On the wall, carved into stone in Draconic, are the words worship. It looks to be very crudely etched here. She stands up for a few moments. She has her wand in her hand, the same one that is floating in front of you now, Integrity, except it is intact, it is whole. It looks worn and used, but not broken by any means. She looks excited to see this, and that excitement slowly turns a bit sour as she looks at this large serpentine skull on the floor of this small cavern, where a 4-inch diameter socket is empty. You know this to be Nesca's skeleton, the socket where the Orb of Reverence ought to be or would be if someone had not completed the Trial of Reverence. She looks very disappointed to see this. Crawling out of the tunnel, that little crawl space, a few moments after she's taken all this in, is a young man. He's also dressed in student's robes. His look to be grimy. He's holding at his left arm as if it's in pain a little bit. He has shorter brown hair and a sharp jawline. He looks familiar.
Is it Faramel?
It looks like Faramel, but a lot younger.
I knew it.
So they were a student there.
This girl will turn to look at him, disappointed, and will say, "It looks like someone got to this one before us." Ben, what does Faramel say in reply?
What?
I'm asking you, Ben, to play Faramel for
Me?
a quick sec. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
me.
having Faramel go, what?
Why me? I don't know. I don't know what you would say.
You know this to be your closest friend in the world, Enlee.
Enlee.
Mm-hmm. Enlee. You've known her since you were like 10.
What the fuck? All this pressure on me suddenly.
Aw.
Well, I guess we'll just have to keep looking, won't we?
She walks over to the skeleton and puts her hand like on the head next to this socket, and she'll say, "I don't know why they only took 2 of them and left like the one that you like, that purple one that you have. Like it makes more sense to take the whole set, and then I don't know, it just makes no sense to me. Do you know what I mean?" Faramel, your arm aches fiercely as if it's been cut off almost.
Oh,
It
no.
throbs. In your pocket is a 4-inch diameter purple orb. It feels cool to the touch. Do you want to approach your friend?
Sure.
Okay. You walk over next to her and examine this skeleton as well. She'll ask you, holding her wand. She's put her wand away at this point, I think, and turn to you. She looks a bit excited, still sour though, and will ask you, "What do you think this is?" Like, it feels like the other puzzles feel a bit more trick dungeony, and this feels a lot more serious than those.
Perhaps this is less of a test and more of a warning.
When you say the word warning, out of the corner of your eye, you see one of the ribs fall to the ground off of this skeleton. You see many more of the ribs fall to the ground afterwards, and you see all of them begin to turn to snakes.
Oh, for God's sakes, why did it have to be snakes?
They begin to bite at your friend. Do you try to help her?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. How? How would you do that?
Do I have any weapons on me?
You have a spellcasting focus. What did Faramel use as his spellcasting focus before his staff, Ben?
I don't flippin' remember.
No, I'm asking you. You get to make all of it up.
Oh, okay. What did he?
I love
what
that
did-
you're like, I don't flip and
I
remember.
don't know. I don't know Firamel's life. He's just an old man. He's a crusty old man.
He's a ice evoker. If that
so
helps
a
you.
spellcasting focus.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I know it would be cool.
Yeah.
Let's go with like a mirror, like a little like a pocket mirror.
Okay. And then like does he like hold it up and the spells just shoot out of the face of it?
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. So, and you're just going to somehow try to, your friend is, as you fumble at your belt to pull this mirror out with your right hand, which might feel weird. Typically you would use your left hand and pull it up, but your left hand is currently throbbing and in pain. You play at the pocket on your belt for a few seconds. And when you pull your mirror out and look over to your friend, she's being bitten badly by so many snakes. They are wrapped around her limbs at this point. She's managed to pull her wand out, but there seems to be a snake wrapped around her entire right arm that is just crushing her arm. You hear the breaking of bones and the snapping of a wand, and she's going to look at you, Faramel, in pain and very scared. And I need you to tell me why Faramel couldn't save his friend. Because we know that this girl's body was there.
I know why he couldn't save his friend.
Why?
Because the snakes were not the untimely death of his friend.
Oh.
Seeing his friend in such agony and despair,
Oh my god.
knowing that the only way to save her would be to give her a swift death.
Mm-hmm. So you cast some sort of icy spell upon her
That's why the skeleton's still standing. She gets frozen in place. Oh my god.
and scamper off with your life as your closest friend is now dead.
Jesus, that's so good.
Fuck. Jesus.
Oh my god.
I'm glad you're enjoying this. Oh, Sam, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
What happened?
They're crying.
No, Sam, don't cry.
It's okay.
I'm good.
Oh,
Faramel's a
Sam.
villain.
Faramel's a villain.
We all knew all along that he was the villain
I know.
of the entire story.
Yikes.
But still, like, killing your friend, like,
I mean, it was probably better than to leave them and like
Be swarmed by hundreds of snakes.
and just hear them screaming.
Yep. Okay. So Faramel escapes, leaving his friend's body behind. And the next memory we see is just Integrity Idleberry picking that wand up off of the ground, snapped in half, not knowing that it was snapped by so many serpents which were absent when you arrived there, but had not returned to being ribs.
They dried up.
Oh my god.
So the wand falls to the water, Integrity.
Can I not catch it?
It's a couple feet away from you. You could try to, but it could very well interrupt, and then you might only get the one spell. You could make
I'll
an
just
Arcana. You can make a Constitution saving throw to maintain concentration while you reach out to grab it.
'Kay.
Please.
Constitution saving throw.
Yes, please. Beat a 10.
So that is a 17.
Okay, perfectly acceptable. You reach out, and the wand You reach out your hand to catch the wand, and it actually is pushed back into your hands by these magical waves, almost in exchange for the orb which it pulls from your grasp. Do you let that one go willingly?
Again, like with one hand, it is hard.
Okay, perfect. It gets pulled up into the air. A foul light. This
Stinky.
this place with this pastel water and these bright white clouds and this lovely sky, and just like what feels like there's pressure here, but it is tranquil. It is utterly quiet. But as this divine energy flows through your orb of progress, integrity, you all feel a chill in the air. The pressure takes on a different form. It feels much more menacing now, where once it felt neutral. The clouds vanish and the sky darkens slightly. This divine material around you, this water that you're standing in, it feels like it almost recedes into the ground, as if it's trying to hide almost. And the orb lights up, integrity, a brilliant blue. You see it, or all of you see it, bubbling slightly as this magic flows through it. And around it, a scene takes form. We see almost a decanter-looking glass vessel. It has a horrible-looking yellow viscous fluid in it. A horrible hand reaches out over top of this decanter and pours out from a flask, almost like what you would wear around your neck, like so small, something you could wear on a necklace, and pours out 2 drops of this liquid. You're not entirely sure what it is, nor is it made clear to you in any way. And then they pull from the table a knife, or not a knife, almost a pair of shears, I think, a very thick set of bronze shears, and cut the end of their hand off. And it falls down, wriggling and undulating into this decanter, along with these other liquids. And then the progenitor stands upright.
I guess you gotta hand it to them.
Their hand
It's pretty gross.
God damn it.
reforms. Their skin solid, but as if many different things are moving underneath. Their large cobra head staring intently down at this decanter, as what takes form in front of you, or what takes form in front of them, is a perfectly spherical blue orb. Here in the darkness, in this dark room, a room integrity you know as the place that you always speak to the progenitor, you see them stand and pick up this 4-inch diameter orb and turn to a woman who is standing here as well. The scene almost shifts. You, for the first time, integrity, see a bit of light creep into this horrible place. You can see the ridges on the ground where the surface also undulates, similar to the progenitor's skin itself. You see a large doorway with a ramp leading outside, and a cool sunset air comes in and fills this room, different to the cold air that you typically find when you're there. Outside, you see the tops of large trees. You see many vines. You hear the howling and cawing of birds and animals as the rainforest surrounding this place wakes up in the evening. Coming back to this, he hands it to a woman standing here in this scene with him, in this room with him. She's dressed in a very elegant silken Actually, Sarah,
Hi.
what's Tarasis wearing?
Ooh.
Ooh,
I have one amendment for headwear, but the rest of it is for you to decide, please.
Okay, I think that she is wearing like a blue silk robe with like a sheer sort of cloak behind her. I think that like the sleeves are those ones that like are sort of very tight, and then as they get to the wrists, they sort of pull down. And I think that there is sort of an elaborate gold and green trim kind of intertwined on the sleeves as well.
Perfect. Her hair is up in almost a very decorative net of silver snakes that seem to move slowly as if they might just be alive, but it might just be a trick of magic. It's unknowable. And over the top of her face is a bronze mask, something to cover the eyes, a blindfold almost, but it looks more purposeful than that, if you catch my meaning. Like something that she wears often. It seems very fitted. And the progenitor reaches out a undulating, inky black hand and
Ew.
hands you, Empress Terrassus, this orb. And they will say to you, the fourth is created. I hope that it might help with the construction of the shrine in the holy mountain.
Ooh.
Interesting, interesting.
Do you say anything back?
It should.
Perfect.
Good.
The progenitor kind of meanders around. In the center of this room is just what looks like a round table with alchemical equipment upon it. Odd and strange looking, weird angles, this glass which seems to be almost alive and shifting. They move that decanter off and put it into some storage rack. And they will say to you, Terrassus, not looking at you, but they will say to you, make sure that the ascendants know that they are welcome, most welcome, when we are to make the pilgrimage to the holy mountain. I would be remiss to attempt to speak with the goddess without them.
I'll make sure they know. I'm sure they'll be glad to be welcomed.
And you, my empress, are also, of course, welcome to join us with as many of your court as you would bring.
I would be honored.
The progenitor, this forked tongue darts out. Since I've completed these in such a short time frame, shorter than I had promised you, I was wondering if you would grant me something.
What do you ask for?
There's a village not far from here, unimportant, Natalensis. I want its people as sacrifices. Only a few hundred, but they're necessary.
A few hundred. That can be done.
The tongue darts out again. The progenitor continues to kind of circle more.
Okay.
And this one might be extreme, and they'll walk towards you at this time. Closer than it might feel comfortable for them to be. The progenitor's always been an imposing figure. They stand a few feet above you, and despite how godly they might be, it is imposing to speak with such a being. But they walk forward towards you, standing only a few inches from you at this point, Terrassus. You can feel the lick of their tongue on your cheek. And you can see, despite wearing that eye mask, I want to clarify. The progenitor will say, before we leave and make the pilgrimage, it's necessary to destroy the effigies of old. When the goddess comes, I do not think that she would be happy to see depictions of herself that are so of this world.
Are you certain? I mean, there's history in those depictions. We've used them for ages upon ages.
You cannot make progress holding on to that history, my empress. I would rather take this precaution than risk the wrath of she.
I see. I will speak to some particularly devout people, and I will see what can be done.
Thank you, my empress. And they will bow deeply. And Terrassus leaves this odd building. As you walk out and down its ramp, the metal ringing underfoot as you approach the guard you had left here. They're wearing very ornate armor. They seem to be standing with a large spear, waiting exactly where you told them to be waiting. But as you approach them and finally step foot on the stone beneath, you might turn and look over your shoulder, and the entire entrance to that building, the one that the progenitor rests in, the one that the progenitor descended to you all in, it closes back up the way it typically is, as if it was just a solid wall of just this inky black material, whatever it is, undulating under the surface.
Okay.
And the scene fades.
Oh, wait, can I say one thing?
You can.
I think that as I meet the guard, I'm just going to like turn to them and say like, send a guard to Nadolescence. We need sacrifices.
The guard, this guard bows deeply, and the world, this vision, this conjuration fades from view. And Integrity,
They came in a spaceship.
orb drifts slowly
yeah.
down, and you can grab it.
It was aliens all along.
I mean, that's been established. We know that.
The orb is warm, Integrity. Exceptionally warm, hot to the touch, almost like a pan pan that you've had on the stove for an hour.
Oh, so I'm gonna juggle them between my hands.
Are you going to let it touch you?
Well, I mean, like, how do I know that it's hot if I don't touch it?
That's true. That is fair. You could, when you reach out a hand, it feels exceptionally warm to the touch. So warm that it feels like it might burn you.
Okay.
Do you still grab it?
I'm going to catch my the wool sweater that I'm wearing and catch it with that.
Okay. The smell of burning wool fills all of your nostrils for a few moments.
Looks
as
like
the orb
another thing that
cools
my
down.
mom will get mad at me for.
It cools down a few moments. What do you all do? You all saw all of this as a note. The scroll
fun.
Integrity has completely burnt to cinders and falls to the water below, and the stillness returns. The darkness passes for now.
What was that?
Holy shit.
That was the magic that I was talking about. Those are the memories of the orb and the wand.
Fuck.
That was a lot to take in, don't you think?
It had to be done.
What does this mean? I mean, obviously we already kind of knew that about Faramel, but fuck.
Well, for the orb, I feel like we're learning more and more based on what we've seen so far, right? But with the wand, I just really wanted to know who owned it. I just wanted to know who else knows about the orb, and clearly we know that Faramel knows about it. But yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah. I feel bad for that girl.
Serenep is going to quickly wipe her eyes, and then she's going to turn to
Yeah.
they're gonna she's going to deal with that later in her own head.
Yep.
She looks to Ferdinand.
Oh boy.
Ferdinand has stood up. She seems to be eyes the size of dinner plates staring at what what Integrity just conjured. She saw all of it as well.
Shit.
She's going to look at her, and she's going to say, "What exactly are you planning on doing with that water pouch?"
Drinking it.
I was just going to use it to expedite making my own plane. What was that?
That isn't really any of your business.
Good question.
In all honesty, I'm look, we're not focusing on this right now. I look to Integrity.
Yeah.
One of our guests are here now, and we came looking for you because we have other things more current that we are dealing with right now.
So I guess it's time.
Yes.
Okay.
Time for all of you to defend me, right? And argue for my case and why I should.
I'm sorry, who are you?
So, what do you all do?
Can we leave?
You turn around. The exit is there. You might leave if you want
I
to.
leave.
Okay.
Serenep's gonna wait for the others to start leaving before she starts, just because she's keeping an eye on Ferdinand at this point as well.
Okay.
I'm
Ferdinand's tied to Integrity. She'll wait for Integrity to move.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Integrity? What's up?
Well, I'm going to put everything back into my backpack.
Mhm.
And obviously I'm very shocked by this. I would feel like I would also be drained from
Yeah.
all
What's
that.
your highest level spell slots? How many of them do you have?
My spell slots.
Do you just have level 1 spell slots, seeing as you're an arcane trickster and a warlock of all things?
I just have 3 spell slots.
Okay. Wipe out one of those then for me.
Okay.
It's not entirely commensurate, but it'll do.
Okay.
Make an Arcana check, actually, to see how many it wipes out. The better you do, the less it'll take out. But there is room here for you to lose all of that, because that was far above your pay grade as it was.
7.
Okay. You have no spell slots left.
Okay.
Oof.
Whee!
Yikes.
So you're
Welcome
just
to the world of spell slots.
recovering from all of that. Do you want to leave as well?
Yes, but I'm also going to look back at the like where the source of magic was,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to bow down and say thank you very much for aiding me in this search for knowledge and truth, Isathil.
A butterfly lands on the tip of your nose. It seems to be made of pure light and is bright white. You feel it crawl around for a few moments, and then you feel it die on your nose. And then just the light dissipates.
What?
Everything I touch dies.
This is why we can't have nice things.
And then I'm just gonna walk away.
Okay. So integrity
Before
walks.
Sereneth
Sereneth.
leaves, she's going to turn and bow to the space and then
Mhm.
leave.
Okay. Perfect. Mira, are you just
I'm gonna bow if they bow, like,
okay?
because they'll feel weird not bowing otherwise. Like, and they're just like, "Oh, thanks for coming," and I'm like, "All right, thanks, fucker."
Well, like it's like the bow is more like a thank you for letting us in to get her. Thank you for letting
Yeah.
her do whatever the fuck just
Oh,
happened. I'm sorry we disturbed you.
Sorry about her. We'll be out of your
It's
hair
like the
now.
wave in traffic.
Yeah. And you all proceed out. Ferdinand doesn't seem to be making a racket. She seems, for the first time, genuinely just shocked about something. Like, this seems to have caught her off guard.
Well, this is new.
Mm-hmm.
It's a twist.
What a bit of a twist.
Winsler, you're the first one to exit. You make it to the entrance. The branches have not grown. You can still push your way through, but it's almost like they curled back into being like a blockage of some sort. Like when you had pushed through, they like spread willingly, but now it seems like they curled back down in front. So
No, I don't want to open.
You can
Maybe that means
force-
something's in the room that they don't want in.
Yeah. Do you
Perhaps.
want to just force your way through, or are you gonna peek on through first?
I want to
'Cause the-
peek on through.
Okay. You see leaning against the table as if they are in pain, a wooden figure wearing a multicolored robe with fur and scales, feathers. On their shoulder is a single wool pauldron, which was the tip of your wizarding hat, Winsler. They look to be like in pain, like almost like clutching their side as if like something is harming them.
Push, push, push.
Okay.
Alert, alert.
Out. You push out and emerge from behind this large wooden chair. Semilai will look up at you and your friends who exit the room behind you and will kind of, it almost looks like they want to put a hand up to like welcome you back, but as they do, they like almost collapse further to the point where they're like
Sereneth
almost
runs over.
Okay.
Everyone run over to help.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
Okay. They will say, I didn't anticipate anyone going in there.
Are you okay?
They look at you, Serenep, this knotted and gnarled face of wood and just bark. It is an expression of pain, but they will say, nothing that I can't manage. I wish you had have told me that you were going to go in there, and I'm very reliant on Isathil's magic to keep me from a worse fate, from feeling this pain. And I wish you had told me that you were going to go in there.
We had only gone in to look for integrity. I didn't know. We didn't know anything. She like offers her like arm or something, like anything to like help Semilai.
I wish to use magic.
What kind of magic?
I wish to use
Hopefully
cure
healing?
wounds,
Cure wounds.
but in a method as in like they're not showing any like external wounds or anything, but they're definitely like they're winded and such, right?
They are, yes.
I'm feeling since they rely a lot on Isithil's magic and such, maybe it's not so much Isithil's magic and it's more sort of like magic itself. So maybe if I use cure wounds to sort of like give them some energy to sort of help lessen the pain and such, help them like stand up, maybe that will help. So I'm going to cast cure wounds that way and see if that'll help them.
I was going to initially be like, apprehensive, but you made a very good argument, and I would like you to, roll the healer.
Okay. I just need to double check cure wounds.
And what
So
level are you
1d8.
casting it at?
I can only cast at level 1.
Okay.
So just a d8
Okay.
plus my spellcasting modifier for
Please
it.
go ahead and roll that for me. First roll in episodes.
Spellcasting ability modifier. I got to remember what that is. That's just the stat, right? It's not the attack.
The ability modifier would just be the whatever it is, and then your proficiency.
Then a 6.
Oh, yeah, or whatever it is. Yeah, a 6. Perfect.
Yeah. I am so sad that I forgot.
Oh, Ben, it's been so long.
I've never used cure wounds in like 70 episodes.
It's been fucking forever.
It's been so long.
Where do you touch them to heal them?
I feel like maybe where they're feeling the pain, like in their side.
They're like holding their like abdomen.
Yeah, probably like right there.
Okay. What does it look like when Windsor casts cure wounds? Is it just like his palms light up?
Yeah, I
Or
would say
what-
say like the palms sort of light up and it's like woo woo.
Okay, you do this. Semilai's expression kind of like they put their head back almost in relief as this pain seems to fade from them. Serenep, you offer to like support them. You feel them clutching hard onto your shoulder, like just your arm, almost if it hurts in a way, but it also still feels like a great relief is washing over them. And Winsler, out from their abdomen, what's the best way to describe this? You feel the wood move underneath the cloth, and then you hear a soft thud as something falls to the ground almost as you heal.
She passed a kidney stone.
Oh no! A wooden kidney stone.
Oh no!
As you all look down, appears to be a very pale, almost mold that has it looks as if it was just pushed out of their body by your magic and just dropped onto the ground. Winsler, it looks identical to the stuff in the Blessed Dweller's room.
Ew.
Yeah, pretty gross.
I feel like we got a case of those like weird moths that just like that always come around like during the fall or like in the summer, and they just like they're
Put
there
the
because
fuzzy
they're covered
things
in
everywhere.
like the branch is covered in webbing and the tree is like dead.
Adelgids, they're gross. You're a pest. At Adelgids, if you're listening, I hate you.
If in case you listen to our podcast, but if you're a Patreon supporter,
yeah, Hemlock Woolly Adelgids that listen to the show and aren't patrons, go fuck yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, you all see this drop to the ground, and Semilai will put a hand on your shoulder, Winsler, and say, "Thank you. That has helped greatly."
I'm glad
You've
it
been
did,
gone.
but what is that exactly?
You're aware that the other elders are gone from the plane currently, correct?
Yeah.
They're gone in search of ways to mend some sort of, I don't know if curse is the right word,
Oh dear.
but some sort of unraveling it's causing our plane and other planes like ours to just intersect
Oh.
frequently. I was healthy for a long time, but then weeks ago, it began to happen more and more often that little pieces of rot would find their way in here, not from anything else than just one of these convergences between our plane and another identical to it. Our world and another identical to it. Another world shaped by Isithil that was not ours. Does that sound like anything you know of? Identical worlds with different events occurring in them?
Actually, yes, sort of. Because we had a really similar experience once with an identical world, maybe being one that we are from. Does that maybe have anything to do with this?
The other elders are searching for answers to this problem. I am injured and a steward, first and foremost, for the denizens of Isithil, so I did not go. It would be a terrible world without any elders here, so I stayed, and the others left.
That must take quite a bit of a toll.
You were outside, you saw the state of things. I only have so much power to exert, and that is bestowed on me from Isithil, not of my own self. Anyways, you were gone for a great deal of time. Is everything all right? I was worried that you had just up and left, and that your guests were going to arrive here to find just me injured.
First of all, I want to say I'm so sorry that I just went in. I asked permission, and I thought that Isithil was letting me in, and I'm so sorry I did not think about the repercussions of what it would mean for you, and I'm so sorry for causing you pain.
It's perfectly fine. If you had have asked, I could have prepared for it. That's all. There's nothing to be done now that it's happened. I hope that did you speak with them?
I was not able to speak with Isithil, or at least heard their voice, but I felt like they were there with me while I was doing the magic that I needed to do.
Did you use Isithil's magic there? Did you steal magic?
I did not steal magic from them. I needed the spell needed me to be like in a powerful magical area. That's what I did.
I am glaring at
And
Ferdinand so hard.
Serenep, you feel on your shoulder when she asks Integrity, did you steal magic from Isithil? You feel a weak grip tighten ever so slightly, just enough, as if all of the energy that's currently coursing in the body of Semilai is turned angry for a moment. And the rest of the loft was not a magical enough place for you to cast this spell?
I had no idea. I just really wanted to do it right the first time because it's expensive and I don't have that much money.
Isithil's magic is what keeps this world alive. Taking that for your own gain, they'll shake their head at you and almost pull away from you, Serenep and Winsler, and begin to stumble with their cane out of this hall. They will turn back to the 5 of you, however, and will say, one of your guests has arrived. Feel free to go see them if you'd like. They're waiting outside. They haven't come in. There's quite a few of them. And they will hobble off.
Thank you, we're sorry.
Angrily.
My heart.
Turn to Ferdinand completely.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, very trying to keep as calm as possible. I say, we are guests here. We have been graciously given sanctuary. You have seemed to continuously do something that is against their rules, whether as simple as taking off your shoes to enter or taking something so potent from an area, so simply because you think you deserve it. So I'm going to ask you this one time and one time only. You are going to put that back in the space, or I will take you out of this loft and I will deal with you.
Make an intimidation. Oh, sorry. I misspoke. Make a buffalo check, please, Sam. That's the second time it's ever happened.
Buffalo.
That's good shit. That was scary. Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Natural 20, baby.
Oh.
Okay, that's
You
very
laughed
good.
as in like.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be.
Thought
Like,
it was
I
gonna be
got
like a
1.
2.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. Okay.
My empathy has run out. My patience has worn thin. I am reaching a point.
Ferdinand clutches the part of her robes that little water skin is in, the one that where you saw her put it, Serenep, and will almost kind of like take a step back as if to hide behind Integrity, and looks to be visibly cowering away from you. And she will say, "It's the only way that I get out of this alive is by using this or using some sort of the magic here and getting out. You all aren't looking out for me. You've all kept me safe here, but I apologize, but I don't trust you all to not sell me out to whoever
Selfish.
wants me dead."
Look, I told you a while ago. I am just done. I am done with the trickery. I am done with the charms. I am done with everything that happens every time I come to Isithil. Though I am grateful for the safety that we have been given, I cannot deal with the fact that every time I turn around, someone in my group runs off and does something.
And you glare at Integrity this time.
I am just asking for once that you do the right thing and we can try our best to help. And if that doesn't work, we will find another way. But I am just asking you to please do the right thing.
She throws the water skin to you, Serenep.
I take it. I don't say anything to the group. I go back around the back of the thing and I ask for permission to return so that I can give back what was wrongly taken.
Yeah, the branches haven't closed back over yet, so you can just walk back in.
Chill.
Just like put your hand in and like just pour it in.
Are you just going to dump it out, or are you just going to throw it in there?
I'm not going to throw it in there. I'm going to actually, like, she's angry at others. She's not angry with the entities of this place. So she's going to walk in, going to open it, and going to dump it back in, like, respectfully.
Okay. The still water kind of seems to, I don't know how to describe it. There doesn't seem to be any sort of reaction from this place, but I feel like you are very satisfied with what you've done here. And I think that, is important.
She, again, this time she actually, says, I apologize for what has transpired here. And I hope that in some way you can forgive us. And she leaves.
One of the branches, Serenep, curls around your arm.
Okay. She stops walking.
It holds you there. Not, if you wanted to break away, you would be able to. It's a gentle hold.
Baby.
You hear a voice, almost like someone is leaning over your shoulder and whispering to you, say, "Why did you bring this darkness here? These dark memories, these dark people."
At this moment, our lives are threatened in some way. That means that if we don't follow through in some way, that we and the people that we care for are in danger. I didn't want to come here, but at the moment, I felt that there was no other way to, and I cannot express how sorry I am that I've brought this here. I hope to try and make amends in some way. At this moment, we are trying to survive.
Go on then and do your surviving, mortal. And the branch almost pushes you out.
Rude.
Okay.
And you can walk back to the rest of the group. What are you all doing? You know that there is a visitor outside. A lot of visitors, from what Semele said. They've left you. Ferdinand.
Bet it's all the frogs from Grunktown. Just all of them.
Is still cowering almost behind you, Integrity. thoroughly looking defeated. This day has taken a turn for her. What are you all doing, though?
Crying.
Oh, he hasn't cried in a while.
It's time for
this is
Winsor
a
to
crying
cry.
episode.
Winslow, you cry.
I think Mira's like fiddling, like, you know, like she's sort of like fidgeting and like pressing on like the spiral on her arm and just kind of like,
It
just like,
hurts when you do
I
that.
feel weird and bad and nervous.
Yeah, when you press on that spiral on your left arm, Mira, the one you just saw Faramel playing at in that memory, the one that
Yeah.
was on his arm through his like cut robes. Yeah, it hurts when you press
I feel
it.
like in both visions I saw a little bit of myself and I don't like that.
I wonder if the arm thing is like shared across all people who have that same like arm tattoo. So it's like all the pain is like shared over
Out-
who
Phantom.
knows
Oh, no.
how
like,
long.
Well, good. Maybe Faramel's arm's giving him a bit of trouble right now.
He's trying to do something. It's just like
Scary, very scary.
Do you want to go? Do you all in any way want to go try to look outside and see who's here, or
Yes.
Yeah.
or
I-
in the case of Integrity and Mira, contact the Ivory Masked Woman who you know is around somewhere.
Well, I don't know that.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
Yeah,
she
Mira,
knows-
you know she's around.
She knows where I am, theoretically, because she has that plane tracking thing, so she should know that we're back on the plane now.
Mm-hmm. She does. She.
Ah, yes,
Let
my
me tell
GPS.
you, she does.
I think
She absolutely knows all three of you are back here.
Serenup's just gonna walk past everybody and go back to the animal area and just,
Okay.
I don't know,
Perfect.
just go lay down with some animals. I don't know.
Okay. Serenup then.
Yep.
As you walk out onto this large branch, you do not see Semilai out here anymore. Actually, in fact, when you walk into that hub area, it seems that they have gone into their study, and a large wooden wall now sits where that archway once was. So there's not even a door; it's just a solid wall. You walk through onto that branch and out into the air, the open air, I should say. It's warmer out here now. The clouds have dissipated. The snow isn't falling anymore. And as you walk, I think it's very easy to look down. Because before, there was like this illusion that you were not that high up because the clouds were just like a couple, like 30 or so feet beneath you, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, that's the ground. But that illusion is
Ah,
now
yes.
shattered by the fact that the clouds have passed. This storm that was here and raging for a little while, that snowstorm seems to have gone away. And out front of the tree down below, you can very clearly see what seems to be most of the inhabitants of Grungtown assembled.
Cool.
Another large bonfire assembled from smaller trees nearby the edge of this large clearing that were cut down. It seems to have been turned into firewood. Lots of small grung. You see, not disguised whatsoever, a large, like human-sized toad who just seems to be pacing around near the front of the tree. And you see a couple of large, like, cages that almost look like they're made of bone. Inside, you see a couple of different people. There's one that's almost entirely shrubs, another one that's like a deer, one that has a bright pink mole in it, and another that has a kind of curled up humanoid person looking in it. They look kind of hairy. Do you want to try to squint and see who that is, or are you just going to make an assumption?
Can I go to the end where the magnifying telescope is and see
Yes.
like
Just enhance
what's
a little
happening
bit.
there?
Yeah, you look down at the tree itself, and you get like that security camera vantage, or that security camera view, and you again see Loud pacing back and forth. His expression is angry and impatient, and the footsteps in the snow would indicate that he has been here a long time. You look over at the cages from this viewpoint. You see the cages again, the one with a bunch of bushes, the one with a deer, the one with a mole, a tall thin mole, pink, the one that you had passed on the road to get to Moistus Marsh. And in the other fourth cage, you see a small humanoid wearing a leather apron. He's a bit scruffy. You see Melon trapped in a little
Melon,
cage.
no.
Melon!
No. What did Melon do?
And anyways, that's where we'll end this episode.
Oh
of Trials and
no!
Trebuchets.
No.
Ben, can you give us an outro?
No. Sure. Thank you all for listening to this
you can't.
somewhat traumatizing episode of Trials and Trebuchets.
No.
We hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a rating and review on our iTunes. It really helps us out a lot by spreading the show to all your friends and people that you know.
Yeah. People freaking see those things
Yeah.
and they go, I'll listen to that freaking show.
Yeah, we also have social media pages, which you can find at Trials and Trebs for both Instagram and Twitter. And on there, you can find a bunch of cool stuff like artwork that we commission. You can find teasers for upcoming episodes. We do that every Tuesday. And you can also find a link to our Discord server on there as well. You can chat with friends and foes alike.
I love chatting with my foes.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
If you're into that.
If that's
I
what you like to
guess.
do. But it's full of nice people and you can chat
they're all
about the show.
pleasant.
And
yes.
it's a grand old time. Also, if you feel a little bit extra generous and you want to help out the show a little bit more, we do have a Patreon page where you can sub to some of our various sub goals based on however generous you're feeling at the time.
Twitch streamer.
What?
Thanks for the sub. Thanks for the
Sub
4-month
to,
sub.
I mean, it's the same, whatever.
it
You
is.
subscribe to our
Sorry for
YouTube
roast-
channel.
Sorry
Whatever.
for
So,
razzing
and
you.
with that additional income, it helps keep the show going, and it also helps continuously improve the quality of the work that we put out by getting us equipment such as microphones, upgraded other equipment, I guess,
sound things,
soundboards, stuff to just
make
improve the
things
overall
sound
quality of the show
nice.
that we
Oh,
produce,
yeah, get
and
us
we want to
a
make the show
soundboard.
as good as possible.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, everyone, for playing Dungeons and Dragons with me this week. I had a blast. I hope you did.
It was very fun.
I'm
Wait,
scared.
did we stop recording?
We'll see you next week, everyone. Bye.
Oh,
Bye.
Never mind. We haven't stopped recording. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Now do we stop recording?
If you want to.
Oh, okay. I'm
Keep
just gonna
talking about
not.
stuff.
I'm just gonna leave
Let's
it like
go
this.
back to talking about King Solomon.